Good.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me today. It's my first time in the office, so a lot of you might not know me. But my name is Mike Mrozek. I'm your internal partner at BlackRock. So I want to take a couple minutes of your time today to talk to you guys about one of our newest ideas at BlackRock. That's our model portfolios. Kind of want to go over why we came up with these things, what they look like, and then how you guys can take advantage of it. So just a couple months ago, I was probably arguably in the worst shape of my life. So I finally got back in the gym. And I used to be in the Army. I used to work out on my own all the time. I used to come up with workout plans for over 150 soldiers. But I got a personal trainer. That personal trainer was there to help me out along the way. Came up with a great workout plan for me and was there to guide me, help me out while I was in the gym, kind of show me some extra things I never knew. In the long run, I got back in shape, I met my goal, and I did it focusing less on my own personal time on planning on how I'm going to get there. That's essentially how you should look at these model portfolios. What they are is they're BlackRock's best ideas utilizing our mutual funds and ETFs to achieve your client's goals. So how do we get here? We've heard the argument, active versus passive. Am I an active investor or am I a passive investor? But as our business has evolved, we've seen it's not active versus passive, it's active and passive. That's how we're going to get the best results for our clients. A lot of you guys in the room have been doing that for a while. And at BlackRock, we've seen that's the evolution of our business. So in 2009, we acquired iShares from BGI. Gave us whole ETF inventory, along with our mutual fund inventory. And with that, we created our model portfolios. So what these are is they're tactically managed, goal-oriented investment strategies designed to meet your client's objectives. And they fall into two buckets. The way I look at them, they kind of fall into two buckets. The first bucket we have is our income-oriented portfolios, and those are meant to generate a specific yield. The second bucket we have is our hedge risk portfolios, and those are meant to hedge away certain risks that your clients are always talking to you about. I'll go into a little more detail about those a little later. But before that, I want to talk about how we come up with each individual portfolio. So it's led by these portfolios are managed by our model portfolio team, led by Dan Murillo and Russ Kostridge, who Russ was just named our chief investment strategist at BlackRock. So you're getting BlackRock's best ideas on this. And what the team does each quarter is they look at each portfolio's goal, whether it be getting a certain yield or hedging a certain risk, and they decide the best asset allocation to achieve that goal. Once they decide that asset allocation, they look at across our ETF and mutual fund inventory and look for the best way to gain exposure to that asset class, whether it be through that mutual fund, ETF, or in some cases, both. Now what happens next is kind of what makes these model portfolios special. They go through BlackRock's risk analytics, our Aladdin tools, BlackRock solutions, the things you guys have been hearing about us from BlackRock for a while. I know my externals probably talked to you guys about it, but these portfolios are run through our risk analytics. And just to give you a little color into, how in depth we look at risk. I think it was about 2009, looking at some mortgage-backed securities. We were able to identify prepayment risk in certain areas around IBM facilities because IBM employees are relocated more than at other companies. Just think about that. We identified prepayment risk because of where people work. And that's the kind of level of in-depth risk analytics your clients are going to get on these portfolios. Now, I touched on it earlier, we kind of have two buckets of these portfolios. So the first bucket we have is that income-oriented bucket. These are meant to generate a specific yield between 2% and 5%. For your very conservative client, to your more aggressive client. These utilize just fixed income. There's no equity exposure in this, so it's a great way to just use these models as that fixed income portion of your client's portfolio. Now the second bucket we have is that hedge risk bucket. And you guys can probably say them before me, is for the three risks you guys get all the time. Volatility, interest rate, and inflation. Now what we've seen a lot of advisors do and have success with is take that cash they're sitting in that money market with, they're scared to invest in, use these models as to get their money back in play. Take that money that's in the money market, use our hedge volatility portfolio, and still gain around a 4% yield. Once these portfolios run through our risk analytics and all that, you'll see about 6 to 10 holdings, but about a 70-30 ETF to mutual fund kind of split. So what are you guys getting from this as the advisor? So you guys are getting BlackRock's best ideas. On a quarterly basis from us, you'll receive our model portfolio update. In that update, we'll kind of talk about what the portfolio did last quarter and how we did. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how we're going to position the portfolio for next quarter, along with our rationale. So when it's time to sit down with your client, you're clearly explaining to them how you're going to position their portfolio and why. And by outsourcing this work to us, it's going to free up time for you. It's going to allow you to focus on other things you don't have time to focus on, like going out there, building your business, profiling for new clients, things you guys just don't have time for. Now, what are your clients getting from this? They're getting that institutional level risk analytics. That same risk analytics that goes into some of the world's largest pension funds, Princeton University down the street, is going into their retirement account, their life savings. That's a pretty powerful statement if you tell them that. Now, how do you guys get this? So all this is coming on our website and signing up for a model portfolio subscription, model portfolio subscription. The best part of all this, I think, it's free. It's not like some other things you guys have seen before. It's a free service. And since it's free, you don't have to use it, but for the first time, you're going to be getting BlackRock's intellectual capital. You're going to be getting our ideas and how we see the markets and how we're going to achieve each individual goal. Now, I know I've covered a lot today, but if there's one thing I want you to take out from this, just think of these model portfolios as a personal trainer for you. They're there to help you achieve your clients' goals while allowing you to focus on other things and focusing less time on achieving those particular goals. I'll be in the office all day. I'd love to come around and talk to you guys about how we can put this in your book of business a little more, but also I want to come around and get you guys subscribed to these updates so you get a little more comfortable with these model portfolios. But before that, I'll take any questions you guys have. Michael.
Thanks for the time today, Mike. It sounds great, especially the volatility management. What's the ticker?
So there is no ticker. So this is not. I had one of my colleagues come in, I think a couple of days ago, talk about MAI. That's kind of more of the ticker play with this. This is more of for a lot of you guys in the room who like to tactically manage your clients' money, who like to see individual holdings in those portfolios. So there's no real ticker. This is for you guys like Rep PM advisors. And it's for that kind of client who's a Rep PM kind of client, not some clients, you feel more comfortable with giving them kind of a one ticket kind of drop for. Okay?
The one thing I've learned in life is nothing is ever free, so there's got to be, pretty high expense ratios on these models. Can you give me some insights?
Yeah, so signing up for these models is free. The expense ratio is just what you'll pay on the funds that you have. And I guess the one catch you can say is it uses BlackRock funds. But there's a reason for that. So we can see that, we can get you that best risk analytics that I was talking about. By using just BlackRock funds, we have transparency on everything we're holding, in the ETF world and in the mutual fund. So we can see each individual holding, and we can assess the risk, down to individual basis points for these. So I guess that's the one catch, if you want to say, but it's a free service.
You just can't help yourself, Tommy, can you?
I noticed in the high yield exposure, you use both the ETF alongside the mutual fund.
Yeah.
When do you use each?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there's ETFs and mutual funds sometimes. In high yield, we have both right now. So there's two reasons for that. The first is that mutual fund is used as that kind of a core holding. So if we want to dial up a little high yield exposure, we'll throw in the high yield ETF. The second part of that, though, is there's on the mutual fund side, we have more illiquid assets in that high yield, bank loans, where the ETF side gives you the more liquid parts of the high yield, giving you a more holistic kind of view of the high yield asset class.
You have every right to get him back on the next round. Thank you.